Sam, it's lovely to meet you in person.
It's very nice to meet you as well.
Okay, so Peli BioThermal is showcasing its latest innovation here at LogiPharma 2026 in Vienna, and you've introduced several developments across its portfolio in recent months. And which ones stand out to you most, and why?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think Peli's really known for its clinical parcel portfolio with Credo Cube and CoolGuard and NanoCool. And a big thing for us is to take that expertise and that market presence and extend it into new markets. A big part of that is CredoGO, where it's not just a box. We've launched that along our whole service network and with technology underpinning it that makes that total cost of ownership really attractive in a commercial parcel setting, which is very exciting. And we certainly view that the commercial market is going to perform similar to the clinical market that really replace single-use styrofoam water-based packs with reusable. We have the bulk market where we launched Volt last year into the market, which we think is we call it a frontier solution that we don't think you can get a phase change material, vacuum insulated paneling box any smaller. And we're excited about the market opportunity within the segment in bulk. And then most recently, we purchased Evo and have integrated Evo into our portfolio, which fills out the cryogenic gap and allows us to really service cell and gene therapy fully. People have been using Credo Cubes and NanoCubes for the apheresis samples for quite a long period of time, but we just didn't have that cryogenic, which we now do. And 6 months since that acquisition, we've launched a new cap here in Vienna, which is a major step forward. One of the challenges with cryogenic shipping is always when it's on its side. You lose a lot of performance from the nitrogen evaporation rate. The previous cap, it was 2.5 days of performance on its side. The new cap is 8.5 days. So you're talking about over a 3x improvement, which has all been done in the last 6 months as we've integrated that business. And it's a great match.
Turning to your global expansion, you recently announced a partnership with the Polar Group in Brazil. And where do you see the next growth opportunities?
Yeah. Asia Pacific is a market that while we're in today, we have a center in Singapore and Credo Cubes are used all through Asia Pacific. We're not fully there as a company and one that we are now laying seeds to grow further. And when you couple that with those portfolio acquisitions and additions that we've made with Evo and Volt and CredoGO for commercial parcel, we have a much broader offering that we think is going to be very relevant in those different markets. Now, not every offering in every market, and we're already doing that work now about the sequencing. So I expect Asia Pacific, my home region, to be a much bigger part of the Peli store in a few years.
Okay, so about your product, Evo again, and Volt.
Yes.
And the
CredoGO.
CredoGO.
Yeah.
Okay, great, fantastic. And pharma supply chains are becoming more complex, right? And what makes a strong partnership valuable?
Yeah, we view our role in the pharma supply chain as one where we innovate for the innovators. So we don't want pharma companies and biotech companies thinking about, will this work in the different temperature ranges? That's why we exist, right? So that as new technologies come down with either different temperature requirements, or you have radioisotopes that have kind of category A and other mechanical requirements, that we need to solve those in a cost-effective way for pharma companies. And because of our position in the clinical supply chain, we see a lot of that pretty early on. And I think because of our reputation for innovation and trust, we have many pharma clients and service providers who approach us with those challenges. And we view that as a tremendous obligation, but also compliment that we see these areas. So we'll continue to innovate alongside of the therapeutic innovations that are coming through the pipeline.
Fantastic. And finally, what has been your favorite part of LogiPharma so far?
I think it's always nice, the serendipity of LogiPharma. So I'm not one that tries to program everything, where I am walking around seeing people having discussions and new thoughts that come into your head through those discussions that you might not have connected one technology or solution with a need. But in this setting, when you have everything on display, you make these connections. And so it's kind of like having a bunch of Lego blocks on the table that you start kind of to assemble them in interesting ways. So I think that environment where you're sharing and thought partnering and your thoughts and ideas are meeting and creating new ideas, that's the exciting part of it.
Fantastic. And thank you so much for your time. And it was lovely to speak with you today.
Thank you very much.